You ever meet a trader who literally made $800 walking around a lake? That is ChaosDog. He used to work night shifts, blow account after account, and question if any of this shit, prop firms, payouts, consistency, was even real. Now, he's sitting on $400,000 in funding, over $5,000 in payouts, and actually scaling. All thanks to the SCT system he used to pass his challenge in one day. And no, he's not a trading god. No, he hasn't been doing this for 10 years. He just stopped gambling, followed our system, and saw what real consistency actually looks like. So look, if you're still stuck binge watching trading YouTubers, blowing up accounts and convincing yourself it's part of the process, this interview will piss you off in the best way possible, and maybe even show you how close you actually are. So watch this video till the end if you're not a How are you?
Hello there. My laptop's a little bit slow. It's coming along. There you go. I'm here.
It's good to have you back. So
Yeah,
how have you been? It's been a minute since we talked.
Yeah. I can't even remember how long ago it was. So
Isn't it like in late January or something?
yeah. I can't
Wow.
remember. But yeah, it's been a few months, hasn't it? So everything's going at 100 miles an hour as usual. So,
Yeah, that's good to know. You were remodeling your house or doing something like that? Did you finish
yeah,
that up?
that's not my house.
Yeah.
I'm still remodeling. One day I'll have no background and it will look like that.
So yeah, man, in our last call, I mean, you were doing pretty well, but I think you've had quite a good amount of success since then. So I mean, before I think you had gotten 100K funded, and then during that time you also got another funded account. Was it a 400K?
Two
200Ks. Okay,
Yeah. Because I've kind of like got a style of trading that I like, and then I had one as a bit of a tester account, which got them both funded. But yeah, the update would be that I've officially hit $5,000 in payouts. I still have my funded accounts. And learning lessons every day as I go along. Some lessons are quite harder to learn than others, but yeah, just think with the funded accounts and stuff like that, it's just know the game you're playing, know the company's rules. You know, you've got to know their rules, and if you don't, I have to write them down. So I play with different funded companies, and every single one of them has slightly different rules, and do the bare minimum for a payout. I think that's the key there. I've managed to keep the funded accounts. I've managed to get a couple of payouts. As I said, I'm up to 5K. I don't like talking about what's happening in the future because I'm one of them, but I know I'll jinx it. But I'm on course for another payout. Which is really good. And the problem I had was after I received a couple of payouts, I start upping slightly, up the risk a little bit, because I started quite like low risk and things like that. So up the risk a little bit, bam, straight into like 2% drawdown. And on a 200K account, 2% drawdown, that's a big number. But it's not really the number that I should be looking at. So I've managed to pull it back, and I'm in profit again. But I pulled it back, and one of the problems I had is I had too much of a win, and then consistency rules come into play. I mean, it was only an $800 win, but then that, instead of every 14 days being able to like pull out, say like $1,000 or $2,000 or something. Now you have to like pull out. You have to earn kind of like 3,400. So and it's the way the companies are structured to get you. So play their game. That's what I know. The group and yourself have been really kind of like helping me with that, understanding it. And I'm not overawed by it. It's just, instead of taking like a 1,000 or a couple of grand payout in 14 days. I'm going to take a £3,000 payout in a month.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And that's a really good thing also to remember, is like thinking in percentages, because like if you were trading with like 5 200K accounts and you're only going for a grand payout, it doesn't really make sense percentage wise. So if you think about it like sure, like you were down 2%, but your maximum loss is 15%. I mean, you still have so much to work with.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
nothing. But because I've never had 200 grand, so
Yeah.
I very rarely until very rarely have I had kind of like 5 grand to lose. But so when you see that kind of 200k and now it's like 19 whatever, and you think, oh my god, that's such a huge amount of money, but it's not really money. If that's it's a sense, it's not your money. You still only paid for what you paid for the account with. So if you start like it's 2% of like a, you know, you say you paid $800 for the account or something, it is what it is, isn't it? It's a lot less, isn't it? So
yeah.
So yeah, I've just been structuring my life still. As I said before in last time, I live a chaotic life. Everything's all over the place. I've learned to structure it a bit. I've taken 2 weeks off trading. I think I did like 3 trades in the last couple of weeks. If I can't focus 100% on it, I'm trying not to. But yeah, it's everything's positive. Everything's going really well. Obviously, you want to be the next stage up. You know, there's runs the ladder. What I've noticed is that even though everyone wants to be the next step up the ladder, but it's very easy to come back down the ladder. Do you know what I mean? Like if you don't learn your lessons and you don't form them habits and, you know, like real kind of like understand, do your journaling. I'm doing the journaling more. I understand my losses a lot more. I understand where my wins could have been better, but I'm not beating myself up about closing the trade early. I'm trying to keep every trade very just at the minute. I'm just doing a pure one-to-one basis. That's it. It seems to be working. I've had a couple of payouts. I've done some back testing, a little bit of back testing and looked at the trades. I could, if I went to a 1-to-2 payout, I could probably do better, but psychologically I'd be losing more. So I'm balancing it out nicely. And that's pretty much me. Everything's calming down a bit. I'm taking a lot of your advice, and I've just started watching some of the extra videos in the group, kind of like the mindfulness stuff and things like that. And I'm really susceptible to that sort of stuff. A bit of self-awareness, a bit of mindfulness is fantastic.
Have you tried to book a one-on-one session with one of our energy healers like Tamara?
Not yet.
I really recommend it. She's very good.
Yeah, to be fair, when I unplug, I unplug. I've not really been in the Discord for the last kind of 10 days. There's a couple of people in the Discord I speak to because I like to see how they're doing, because I know some of them are struggling and they're going through that journey that I've been through. So I'm not trying to give any advice, but I'm trying to give encouragement, you know.
Yeah.
So I've only just got back into it, and I've seen the kind of the new setup and the new offers and stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, this is everything moves so fast. Like I just unplug. I think I went down to London for a couple of days, and then I've been working extra overtime shifts last couple of days. I keep telling myself I'm not going to do it, but I end up doing it. You know, although it killed me the other day because I was at work and my trade pattern presented itself. And I was just like, okay, I'll nip to the toilet and I'll put a trade on, you know, the thing. And then I was like, and then my boss came in and started talking to me. But by the time I got to my toilet, by the time I stuck to the toilet, it had already gone. And I'm like, I've earned a couple of £100 today. That's at work, but I could have earned $1,000.
Yeah. And that's why really scaling up your trading will make a big difference, because like if instead of £1,000 per payout, you're doing 4,000 or 5,000, will you need to even go back to work? I mean, that's...
No, I said last time to you, I said, I'm not even sure if I'd had a payout yet. I think I'd had one payout. I did say I'm like going to get to like $25,000, and then that's me. I can take 6 months off and not worry, and then focus. And that's including having some capital to trade with or buy a big account or something. That's everything in. But now I've got to get a new car, so that goes out the window. But it's So I think so that's my next step, scaling. That's my next step, scaling. I've been quite happy. I wouldn't have personally got the 2 accounts because they're with the same prop firm, so you can't trade them together with the same trade. You can't use them as one. I know that there are that they have said you can merge accounts now and stuff like that, but I'm halfway through trading. One of them's a bit down and one of them's up. You know what I mean? So if the stars align, I would love to combine them, but I don't think I can because one's an 80% split and one's a 90% split. So I think, but I wouldn't have done that because I think I put a bit of pressure on myself with that. But yeah, it's not a big deal. But yeah, it's something in this phase I should have just scaled on top of myself instead of spreading myself thin. But hey, I am aware that I was told not to do it. But hell, I went and did it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talked about last time too. Less is more, right? I talk about this all the time. Focusing on one thing. Like if you just focus on one 200K account, you have like a very, very like clear like risk that you're going for. You have a very clear system, a very clear plan on how much you're going to go for a payout. I'm almost certain that you'd be able to get a lot more out of it, probably already $5,000 or $10,000 a month, just by focusing on that.
Yeah, I just what I've done the last couple of months, took a couple of payouts. I've got the figures in my head. So like with gold, one lot, 50 pips. That's me done. Yeah. I've started to scale. I've started to change my system. I do 1.5 lots now, and at 40 pips, I take $400 out and leave a runner, move my stops to break even. That's where I am with my trading at the minute. Very simple and stuff like that. I know there's some amazing systems being talked about in the Discord, and we'll get around to it.
It'll make your life a lot easier, actually.
Yeah, I just love that the hour over New York Open with gold. I don't know what it is. Wait for the correction and then just go. I don't even know. It might be order blocks, and they all get called different things across. You know, they've always been there. They'll always be there. It's just patterns, isn't it? But wait for the correction and go. My first 2 payouts, I think I was on a average trade was 20 minutes, and average trade was 20 minutes. I think the average winner was like $300 a trade, and I was popping that in every day. I had a win rate of between 80 and 85%. Would have been in the 90%, but I had made mistakes because trading's about learning from your mistakes. I'd made mistakes, and and that's working for me on one of the 200K accounts. On the other 200K accounts, I used it a bit more of a learning account. I know you guys. I know we were all big on back testing, but I learned so much more from forward testing, and I'm in a lucky position where I can, if I blow an account, it's not the end of my world. But it's opened my eyes to the real value of money a lot.
That's awesome. I'm actually really happy to hear that. I mean, honestly, like I said, if you're doing one day's work and making a couple $100 versus 30 minutes of trading, 85% when we're making 300, you know what to do, right? You just got to scale it up.
So one of the things that, like as I said before last time, I'm always late to the party, but I'm always worth having around. I'll be there to the end. The thing that the trade that put me that $800 trade, I said I did $800, and now I've got to hit the consistency. So I need, whatever. But I was doing a 10 because I've done a lot of walking since last time, taking my health under consideration a lot more, done a lot of walking, losing a bit of weight, and really kind of like physically, mentally, spiritually. I'm not really into all that sort of stuff, but I know it works. You know what I mean? And I was walking around my local reservoir. It's like a like a nature point, walking around it. My trade came up. I was like, oh, shouldn't do it. And then I did the trade and I made $800 whilst I was walking a 10K. The sun had come out for the first time in a long time. And I just thought, yeah, I can definitely have a piece of this.
Yeah.
Definitely have a piece of this. But then you've got the flip side of that, where you've got people at the computer all day long trying to make something happen. I think everybody will be successful. It's just steps on that ladder, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually, like fun little note and hint. We actually just started the SCT Health section, so you can take a look at that as we build it out. We've got about 5 people that are going to start to post quite a lot about fitness, about health, nutrition. So I'm really excited about that because, trading, my main goal with what I'm doing is not to just get people in a room just taking trades, making millions of dollars. It's about what do you do once you actually have that, right? How do you take care of your family, your health, etc.
Yeah. 100%. And I think one of the good things for me is I actually haven't, I shouldn't say this, I'm going to get bombarded by scammers now, but I actually haven't touched any of the winnings. I haven't, I've put it in somewhere safe. You're not finding it. Not you, but I'm talking to them. I haven't touched any of it. I've just put it somewhere, and I will utilize it and I'll deploy it, but it's there for when I'm ready to scale up. And I know you're there ready for me when I need to scale up. I don't want to add at the minute. I feel like I've got a good thing going on. I do need to scale up, but I'm aware. But at the minute, I'm just baby steps, one little step at a time. I don't want to get greedy too fast. I think a bit of greed's fine. It pushes you. You see, you want the thing. But I hit my goal of 5K payouts. I'm kind of 20% of my way there to my bigger goal. And I understand the more capital you deploy, the bigger the returns. It's that. But yeah, as I said, baby steps.
No, yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. And also, just like for those that didn't watch the first interview, like, can you just give me a bit of background, like who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I work lots. I work nights, shifts. I look after lots of people at a local university. And a couple of years ago, I've been watching Seb for a while now. I bummed around from group to group, paid over the odds information I didn't need to know. Some groups were good, but it's only with you where I've been able to put it all together. And generally kind of like, from my point of view, you're not there to make money from us, which is a huge thing, really. There's a lot of trust. Everybody in the group's really happy to be there. It's almost too much information sometimes for me, anyway. Because
and we try to keep things simple too.
No, that's fine because everyone's got their own. Values, and it's great because if you really look at it, trading's quite simple. You buy low, you sell high. You wait for your confirmation. How easy is that? Yeah, who can't do that? Yeah, right. 90% of people can't do it. That's who, like 90% of traders are losing money, and there's a reason for that, because even in these high value groups, and high knowledge groups and stuff like that, you still get a lot of people who can't earn money, because of, well, a lot of it's mental, isn't it? It's a lot psychological. It's like psychological.
That's why we have the energy healers.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I've come from. A couple of years ago, I got diagnosed with a couple of illnesses and stuff like that, and so on and off of medication for a year or so. But it really affects me, my online presence, because I can't spend too long at the screen a lot of the times and stuff. But then I can as well. So when I'm in the zone, It's working. So I have to be very careful about kind of too much. I do listen to all the podcasts and stuff, but even when you're doing your lives and your coaching calls, very rarely I have it on in the background, and I'll just listen to it, and I have to visualize it because I'm quite a visualizing. That's not even a word, but it'll do. Person. And then and a couple of years ago, I kind of bumped into you, and you talked so fast about so many things, and it was an absolute pleasure to be on the journey with you. Kind of, you're not getting rid of me. That's kind of it. Just the biggest thing that you've helped me with is stop overthinking things. Really, it really doesn't have to be. It can be as hard or as simple as you want it to be. Like, for instance, the rules on one of the prop firms I'm on is 4 trades, 25% consistency rule. So if you take all 4 trades and you make $250 a trade, after 14 days, that's a, it's after 80, it's an $800 payout. Yeah, I know, I'm thinking big still, but I've got to scale up. But okay, so 4 trades at 2,500. That's,
Yeah.
it's an $8,000 payout. How much do you actually earn a year on your 9-to-5 job? In 14 days you can get that. So yeah. So that's where
with
I
minimal
am.
risk as well. Like the 200K account is really realistically not that expensive considering what it can give you. And with our CT system, like how long did it take for us to pass your accounts?
I'm going to say like a day.
Yeah, like a day.
Like a day. I thought it was a lie. I thought I was no, just a fuck off now. You fucking with me. I think it was less than it. One of them was 2 days. One of them was 1 day. I don't know, something like that. It was.
Yeah.
It got it got a little bit silly, to tell you the truth. It got a little bit silly. So yeah. So scale up plan for me. That's where I am now. Step 2. Step 3, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter what step. What's important is to take that step up.
And also you have the assistance to make sure that, like, on the technical side of things and the bigger plan, like you are on the right track. That's what we're.
Oh yeah,
really,
I haven't
really
got no worries. I've got all. I know that I've got all the knowledge and all the support that I'm ever going to need in this one group. I am in some of the groups for different things. I still love me a shitcoin trade. You know what I mean? Once a shitcoin trader and always a shitcoin trader. But I have to take my hat off and put my shitcoin hat on. Yeah. This is no longer trading. This is fun. Half a Solana chucked a dog coin or something is brilliant, but it's not going to pay the bills. It might buy me a house one day, but it's not going to pay the bills.
Never know.
And I'd rather my bills paid. I'd rather not have any worries when it comes to buying a new car and things like that. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just buy a new car with a shitcoin play and just put a big like dog, on their car,
Yeah, yeah. Wonder if I could get an airdrop for it or something.
Yeah. I'm curious also, like, in our last interview a couple months ago, like we kind of talked about how you started to get funded, and you were just kind of starting to get the ball rolling. But ever since then, like you've gone multiple payouts, you've got over $5,000 and 400K funding, etc. Like, do you feel like anything has changed? Like, what has changed for you, like after those wins, like mindset, structure, confidence? Has anything shifted for you?
Yeah, I think first of all, I started getting a little bit too big for my boots. Luckily, I stuck to my risk management. I started breaking my rules a little bit with trading. Like, last month I had like a 75% win rate. That means I could just gamble and I'll win 75% of the time, not wait for the setups, so I had to unplug for a couple of days, redo it, come back, and then kind of get back into my swing. So it's not just about going up the steps, it's about not taking steps back. And I think everyone does take steps back, but then you've got to go again. Yeah, so that was good. But that was my negative. Okay, I'm going to start with the negative first, just get it out there, because I think the negative mindset is as valuable as the positive mindset, as long as you learn from it. So I stopped that pretty quickly, and then I think I started believing. Really, I started believing in myself. I was believing in my ability, and it's just like that. And the reason I haven't touched that money is because I like to look at it occasionally and go, "That's real. I've earned that," and that can be scaled up. Like that 3 can be a 3-0. That sort of thing. So, I started believing, started relaxing, stopped forcing it as such, because I've gone through the forcing it stage, gone through the learning stage. It took me a couple of years to get here. And for the first time, I've started seeing tangible results. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. For the first time, I relaxed, stopped to think. There's a guy that's write a poem, and he says like life is an eternal dance. The more you struggle against it, the more your steps are clumsy. But when you start to relax, you can just move with it. And I'm here for the journey, you know.
And we're just getting started, realistically, right?
Yeah,
it's great.
I jumped on the Discord yesterday to have a catch up, and I was just like, that's a day's worth of reading, just the new stuff that's coming. But I mean, I'm not complaining about it at all. But I was just like, it's all good stuff. It's all really positive. It's all really positive. Really is. Yeah, chuffed.
That's good to hear. I'm curious, like, what ongoing structure or process help you stay consistent?
Risk management. Risk management. I think the just following your own rules. So I think I didn't realize that there's a lot of people who struggle to follow their own rules. I mean, I think we all follow their own rules, and I bet if I asked you, have you broken any of your own rules in the last month? There we go. But it's about how you recover from that, I think. So follow the rules. Set up. So I've got a little set of rules. I try only for 3 trades maximum a day. When I'm scalping, doing my, I like to do the 5 minutes, and the pullback, as I said, at New York and done. I can just see the chart, and it just seems to work. Not every day, but it just seems to work. I try to do 3 trades only. If I win one, I basically stop for the day. Or I go half risk or quarter risk on the next one, and then you're always going to end the day, no matter what. Then you're going to end the day on a positive. So if I win one, I'll drop my risk. If I lose one, I'll just put it aside, go away for 20 minutes, come back, take another trade. If I win that, then I'm kind of break even. If I've got some runners, then I'm winning for the day, and then I'll take a third trade. But if I lose, I don't think I've lost a few times, but no more than 3. If I lose 3, I've only lost, I don't even know what percentage it is off the top of my head, but I'd only lose like $1,500 for the day.
Yeah.
So I'll cut my risk at kind of like $500, and just let it go, really. I'm not reading the charts. But usually, to be honest, if I've lost 2, I won't trade again. So I just set up a system, because very rarely will you go, and that means that if you lose 1% one day, you've got 10 days before you start really getting in trouble. And who's gonna? Well, I'm gonna say that I'm screwed now, aren't I? But who's gonna really lose 20 trades in a row realistically? And even if you did, you've still got the account. You've got to look at that, really. And we'll go on like losing streaks and things like that, and it's it can be tough, but lower the risk, get your confidence back, because it's that's it, really. Follow the rules. Reaching out to you guys when I do need help is always a big step, and accountability. They're the main ones that have stopped me being unprofitable. Yeah.
And have you noticed a difference maybe in terms of how you feel now versus before, overall in your life surrounding some of these gains that you've gotten?
Yeah, I feel lighter. I feel that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. All the cliches. I feel like I said to you before, I genuinely believe now. I believe I can do it. I've always believed, but now I've seen something. I've seen physical evidence, and what I've already achieved, no one can take that away, no matter what. So yeah, I just feel lighter. I've got to stop myself from wanting to run. before I can walk, sort of thing, like and things like that. But that's all positive things, isn't it? It's kind of like, rather than feeling negatives, like, do these prop firms actually exist? Yeah. Yeah, they really. I see all these people posting their wins, but do they? I've never seen it. You know, that sort of thing. To go and, holy shit! If you get the right prop firm, they're actually pretty good. And then you go online and people are like bashing. Oh, the rules are terrible. The rules are. It's their game. We're playing their game. Let's, just read the rules and play their game, and you can't really go too wrong, really. So yeah.
I'm curious also, like, have you like told friends, family, or anything like that? Like, have they reacted like, oh wow, you're finally making good money with this? Like,
yes and no. They all think I'm a millionaire anyway because I mention crypto occasionally, or I mention gold trading occasionally, and they're like, well, gold's at an all-time high, and I was like, it must be worth billions. It's like, yeah, no, that doesn't work like that. Not yet. So yeah, I actually find it quite hard to talk to other people about trading because they don't really understand it. And I've got a few friends who are interested in it, so I'm willing to spend time on the charts with them and explain what it is and things like that. But yeah, generally most people aren't. They want to know about how much money you've got.
Yeah.
And they think you're some sort of millionaire or whatever because you mention these things. But I've got a few people that I talk to that are interested in it. But generally, I think they think it's a gimmick because. I think one of the good thing about finances, well, not a good thing, but what they've done is they've spun this illusion that everything's not real. So everyone just goes to work 9 to 5 and they don't know about this magical world of free money dropping out of your computer, but it's there. I shook my computer and some dropped out.
Yeah, because like that's what it is. It's that's what I've noticed with most people. Like whenever they hear online about like you can make money online with like this business or with trading, like it's like there's like something in the brain that's like immediately like, no, that's not possible. It's not real. But like once you actually meet somebody and you see their actual results and how that's changed their lives, something changes and you're like, okay, I believe it's possible, but I haven't done it myself. And then like you were saying, like once we actually passed the account for you, you're like, oh shit, this is real. Once you got the payout, it's like, oh, this is really real. And then from there, it just keeps going.
And I don't really want to say this, but my first payout was too easy. It really was. It was a little bit too easy. It was fraught with kind of like poison chalice because I had 2 accounts. I made a mistake and then I had to go through a risk assessment and all that sort of thing. Oh my god, here we go. This is where they pull the plug and say, no, you're not getting anything. But it was my own fault. There was some rules that I didn't read. Yeah, I blamed everybody at the start, obviously. But then they looked at it and they were like, "Oh, one account gets zeroed, the other account you get your payout." I was like, "Oh, okay." So you are.
And that's pretty good considering how most platforms just ban you or something.
Yeah. They gave me the first warning. I mean, I was honest with them all, and I was like, genuinely, I didn't read that rule. I'm really sorry, and all that sort of stuff. And they were pretty good. I'm happy with it. But the actual payout itself was fine. It was a bit too easy. I made 5 or 6 trades and got a payout of like 1,400 to start with. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, everything's positive, really. I think the idea is just don't overthink it. Just write a set of rules down for yourself. Write a set of rules down for your prop form. Set your daily. You know what I mean? Just have a routine. It's hard for me to have a routine because I work evenings and nights. So I'm kind of like left and right and up and down all over the place. But I still kind of do the same 10 things every day, but just reversed. If you know what I mean. So yeah.
And would you recommend this program to other people?
Without any level.
Why is that? What's the main points?
It's just easy. Like I've said before, like it is there helping each other. I should reach out more for help. I know that's one of my things. I should reach out more for help. But it's just it's hard to explain. But I never felt that anybody's after my money in that group, and that's quite a rare thing. Everybody's different levels. You've got really top traders that are going through a rough patch. Yeah, and people and not so good traders are helping them through the rough patch and things like that. And it's just like there's no sorry, I think my next door neighbour's playing around with his and everybody generally gives a shit. Everybody really cares about each other. Yeah, it's just the knowledge is beyond scope. The knowledge in the group is beyond scope. I can't keep up with the knowledge, but I don't have to. I take my little piece and I put it into my puzzle. But yeah, it's recommended for anybody at any level. Beginners are just gonna save 5 years, 3 years, whatever it is of trading, and then they're gonna come in. Within 6 months, you could be at my level. I'm a bottom level. I'm still a beginner, but you could still be earning money as a beginner. So,
and you can earn money pretty fast too, because like we built systems to pass accounts really fast. All you need is a couple trades, and you can get a payout.
Yeah, 100%. But it can be, but you can have your handheld every day if you wanted, or not. There's no set way of doing it. It's all about the person. But less is more. Less is definitely more. One of my goals is to go for literally just go for a 4 trade payout. That would be phenomenal if I could do that. But that's more for a future, just playing around thing. But realistically, 5 hits in 14 days. You can have a payout really. Realistically.
Yeah. And if someone was like messaging you maybe on the fence, they're scared to invest or skeptical, is there anything you'd say to them?
Yeah, just do it. Just try. There's enough evidence out there.
Look at the wins.
There's enough evidence out there to sway. And there's not 100. I don't just arbitrary numbers. There's not 100 people in that group that are all trying to swindle you by creating this fake group. Just say, this is a winner. We're all winners. Come join us, and then we get there. And we're not. But generally, there's enough evidence. Everything's evidence based, and there's enough evidence. If anyone wants to come along and have a chat to me, I've chatted to a couple of people that have been on the fence, and some people have later on come aboard. But anybody wants to chat to me, feel free. I'm an easy man to find.
Yeah, just join the Discord and send him a message.
Discord. My name's
ChaosDog in the Discord.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just come along. I'm sure even if you just have a chat to Seb, there's always he's always forward thinking about stuff. I'm sure that there's all sorts of introductory measures and all sorts of stuff coming on, induction plans and all sorts of stuff. I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it. Maybe you lot can. I'm just here for the ride.
And why do you think this worked so well when like other things didn't work as well for you, like other groups?
Because it was easy to put it together. So I was in a couple of good groups, very good groups, very knowledgeable groups, but I couldn't put all the pieces together. The thing for me that put everything together was just before this group opened, you did that thing, the funded course.
Yeah,
you put a little 10 bullet point course together. That really helped me understand all the different kind of like versions of funded and things like that. And then I just put everything together really. It was just for me. There's enough knowledge in the group that everybody understands what you're talking about, even if you don't fully understand what you're talking about. And now you're moving into the kind of like the psychological realm. I think for me that's going to be a massive help, and it's everything's in one place. That's the main thing. Everything's in one place, in one Discord, and you haven't got to go here, there, and other everywhere. Yeah, that's it. For me, it was just about putting all the pieces together.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are in that situation as well, because like as we know in this age, you could just ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, anything. You can learn so much, but how do you actually bring those pieces together and actually get something out of it? That's the hard thing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Although I did use ChatGPT the other day to get to help me plan a rescue trade, which was it was actually really useful.
You just need to know how to use the tools. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, of course. Yeah, just if you're sitting on the fence, I was sitting on the fence for years about different things, and it doesn't help sitting on the fence. Just take the risk, take the gamble. What have you actually got to lose? You're gonna gain some knowledge. That's the worst case scenario. You're going to gain some knowledge, but yeah, set your plans, stick to them.
Yeah, I mean it's like trading, right? There's risk and there's reward, but with what we're doing, the reward is infinite, right? If you get a 200K account, you get one payout. It's no risk anymore. You got ROI, infinite reward, infinite payout.
100%. It's that. Is it the parabolic curve or the parabolic curve? Yeah, and once you get to that point, everything just becomes lighter. The noise becomes less. You'll find a trader that you want to follow a lot more than the other ones. You'll find one that really suits your mentality and your needs. Yeah, definitely. And there's plenty of mentality in the group.
A bit of everything.
Yeah, definitely. It's like like a big cooking pot, and then all spices and herbs and meats and vegetables are getting chucked in, and it's going to be nice at the end.
Oh yeah, and like I said, the SCT, it's a kitchen. It's a kitchen. We got the chefs.
Always cooking.
Well, thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it. It's been great to do this follow-up, and you've come really far in a really short amount of time. And I'm sure if we do this exact same thing in a couple months, you're going to be miles higher. Especially, whether you have a good patch, rough patch, we're going to be able to help you through it. You have the assistance. And also to anybody that's like listening to this thinking like, I can't do it, literally just message him, right? Like he's like we're both just normal guys, and all it took was just actually applying these things, and it just works. So anybody can do it with the right system. That's the key thing. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to get some similar results as him and even larger, just book a call, the link in the description, and you might be the next story that we feature.
Definitely. Anybody that joins, I expect you to do better than me. Because I'm always last to the party, and I'm not having anyone steal my thunder.
5K a month is pretty good for last to the party.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take that any day of the week.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. It's good
I
talking to you.
appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you do, so thank you very much.
Guys, you just watched a night shift worker turn his life around. 400K funded, over 5K in payouts, and finally believing this trading thing is real. Now ask yourself, why the fuck are you still stuck? Still watching YouTubers? Still rewriting your rules every goddamn week? Still blaming the strategy when the truth is you've got no real system? Look, if you're ready to fix that, book a call from the link in the description, or if you're too broke to work with us but serious, start with the free trading course in the description, but do something, because nothing changes if you don't take action.